Hi and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing really well. Let's start by giving our own selves a round of applause for making it through yet another year. Was it only me, or did 2019 feel so intense and feel like it was going by so quickly? So let's do the applause. Yay! Congratulations, you made it to the end of yet another year. Yay! For me personally, in the final weeks of the year, I like to take time out to reflect on the year and how it went, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Personally, at the end of every year, I like to be very intentional about making time to reflect on the year and plan for the next year. I want to encourage you to take some time out and do the exercise that I did and reflect on your year 2019. Also think about 2020 and all the amazing things that you'd like to do next year. In this video, I will be sharing the 10 lessons I learned throughout this year. Through all my experiences, the good and the bad, I learned a few things and I'll be sharing them with you today. The first lesson I learned is prioritize self-care and your health. I learned this lesson in a very bad way. For a few months this year, I struggled with tummy aches that were due to intense stress that I was not handling. And at the end of the day, so much time went by. I had to go see the doctor and I had to do so many things. And if I would have taken a step back and prioritized self-care a little more, I wouldn't have had to go through the issues I faced. These are the kind of things that when they happen to you, you learn from them. And now I'm very consistent with eating. I make sure that I eat regularly and I make sure that I eat things that are good for me. And I also make sure that I don't internalize stress to a place where it's affecting my body. The second lesson that I learned is take a bold step and you will enjoy all the great results that will come from the bold step that you took. Interestingly, being bold and brave was my theme for this year. I did not really know what it would take. I did not know what it would mean for me personally when I set that theme for the year. Looking back at this year, I would not have seen as many great results as I did if I did not take bold steps. Having this theme helped me decide, having this theme helped me always look for those opportunities and look for those areas where I needed to be bold. A few bold steps that I took, for example, were starting my own YouTube channel. It took a lot of convincing myself that I needed to do this, and I do not regret 1 minute of doing it. The second bold thing that I had to do was change my role at work. That is a whole different story, and there will be a different video to talk about it. But I am so happy that I took that bold step because the role I'm in right now is very fulfilling, and I'm really happy that I took that bold step. So, second lesson, definitely learn. The third lesson that I learned was do things you love. I came to a place in my life where I had forgotten things that I really enjoyed and loved doing. My sense of obligation made me feel like I always had to be doing things that others expected of me, or I always had to be doing something that was serious. But there are things that I love. I love watching some TV shows. I love going out and doing some things. I enjoy some type of shopping. There are things in my life that are important to me. There are different foods that I like. But doing things that I liked and enjoyed and loved brought me a lot of excitement and joy. Fourth lesson that I learned was be consistent. To make time to do things that were important to me and consistently chase the goals that I wanted to achieve. So being consistent was definitely a great lesson that I learned this year. The fifth lesson that I learned this year was know what you want and fight for what you believe in. I often know what I want, but the biggest lesson that I learned this year is that I'll have to fight for what I want. I'll have to do a little more, and I'll have to be ready to face those obstacles. I had to learn that it was okay for me to ask for what I wanted, and it was okay for people to say no, and it was okay for me to look somewhere else. This lesson is one that I'll carry along with me for many years to come. Sixth lesson that I learned this year was take the opportunity to introduce yourself or reintroduce yourself. I heard a great woman that I really respect share this lesson in one of the conferences that I attended this year. She shared that you want to be able to leave people with the picture of you that you want them to remember. It is your duty to ensure that you leave people with the picture of yourself that you want them to remember. When I say introduce yourself, it is less of the robotic introduction that we all do. Hi, my name is Marie-Christin. I'm a program manager and this and that and that. It's less of that. It is, what are the important things that you have done? What are some of your great accomplishments? What are some of your great skills and talents that you want them to remember? Seventh lesson that I learned this year is speak out, use your voice, share your story, be heard. There were so many things that I was keeping inside that I never ever shared with anybody else, or that I never ever shared on my platforms. Taking the opportunity to actually share those things with other people in my network and in my community has been so fulfilling. I definitely want to continue doing more sharing and using my voice and telling my story next year as well. The eighth lesson that I learned was prepare for the consequences. With everything, good or bad, there are consequences to the actions that we take. I found that sometimes this year I was not prepared for the negative consequences that came from the choices I made, and they caught me off guard. I had to learn to think more about the consequences and the repercussions of actions of everyone around me. The ninth lesson that I learned this year was give back and help others around you. I can't even begin to explain to you how much fulfillment I have gotten from giving back to people. I think I underestimated the power of giving back to people and how much it can enrich my life. Interestingly, I help myself by helping others. Does that make sense? And the 10th and final lesson that I learned this year is to be grateful. I am so grateful for all the experiences that I had this year, for all the amazing successes that I had this year, for everything that happened this year. I know it happened for a reason, and I am so grateful. Grateful for where I am in my life, for my family, for my relationship, for all the amazing things that have happened this year, and also for the not so amazing things that happened this year, because I know that I will not be where I am today if not for all those experiences and everything that happened this year. What were some of the lessons that you learned this year? Please share them with me in the comment section. I'd like to know. So now we've come to the end of 2019, and 2020 is knocking on the door loudly. I'm looking forward to making more amazing videos next year and growing our community. So you might be wondering what I'm doing for the rest of the year. I'm taking a break. Thank you so much for being part of my journey and part of my 2019. I look forward to seeing you in 2020. But before we go, please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, share this video with all the amazing people in your network. Have an amazing break and see you next year. Bye.